everybody, let's go. Let's go. Nigga, let's go. Let's go. To a motherfucking place that you ain't never been to. But keep it on the low. On the low. Where you can absolutely, positively get on the side of the stove. Sipping on that 4-0. Nigga, fuck the 5-0 with your pit bull. Don't let them roll around, though. On the path of the loud, go ahead, you can blow. Ain't a motherfucking noose on the aisle. Already been burnt on a pile. You ain't never ever gotta worry with your motherfucker whoop in the gun to the back of the head of a child. Go wild. Welcome to the land of the colored. All we do is win, never suffer. Ain't no cops in the cover. Where every kid on the block never had a clock. And all families got a father and a mother, but we all living good. Nigga ain't got good. He delivered us cause he could. Well, they couldn't bring crack to the hood cause it ain't no hood. Tyrone and Keisha doing pretty damn good. All the kids wearing hoodies. Coming from the back of the 7-Eleven with a pack full of goodies. Skittles with a can of Arizona on deck. From a black don't store cause we mobbing like that. All black bins cause we got it like that. All black rims cause we got it like that. And we ain't gotta worry about nobody shooting us down cause we don't look suspicious. In our neighborhood watch cause we watch the kids. My mama, your mama, we all related. I'm so elated. Never in a million years would have thought a world like this existed.
Color, alley, nigga, color, alley, bitch, color, alley, nigga, color, alley, bitch, color, alley, nigga, color, alley, bitch, holla, nigga, you color, alley, bitch, color, alley, nigga, color, alley, bitch, color, alley, nigga, color, alley, bitch, color, alley, nigga, color, alley, bitch, holla, my nigga, you color, alley, bitch.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in today. So what we're going to be talking about is Guale clan and social society. Oftentimes I come on here, I do my best to keep things general. And what I mean by keeping them general is I don't want to leave anyone out, right? But here we have to speak on our own and speak for our own because there are often a lot of pictures. I know a lot of you all like the pretty stuff, all the pictures I'll be doing, putting things up and all of that. I'm going to do some of that just to give you a vision. So please do like this video. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe. And please share it to someone. So I'm going to start 5 minutes early. The original start time was supposed to be 12:10. So what is the clan system? That is the first question. Let me add this to the banner. Matter of fact, let me add this here so we can keep it going, right? What is the clan system? Clan system. Let me see if I can change this. Let's see, no. Stroll across. Perfect. So what is the clan system, right? Now, in European terms, this can be very broad because they didn't really understand what was going on. So the clan system is nothing but how families function, right? And from ancient times, these families took on either aspects, right, or animals to that were spirit, right, familiar spirit. So animism. What is animism, right? Is understanding that the man, the human, is one with all, right? Or one all. Because you get with all, it's separate. What we understood is it all is. So you would have families that may be of different bird families, different cat families. You have water families, air families. So all of this different, all of this different things. Now within the clans, they operate or they have their own occupations, right? So some clans may be builders, right? And the builders were more likely to be politicians. Some, or in each family basically had a lot of these, but mostly the clan had a specific function, right? You had those that dealt with the land. So we would call it like bog potato, right? That was for the white people. We would have red potato, right? You would have bean, or you also with the Cherokee, which they call blind Savannah, right? That's their potato clan. So when these families got these aspects, this is their name now. So your surname, or what you consider your surname in English, would be your family name then. So you could be in English, right? Or for lack of better words, right? Dealing with us. You could be me, right? Ani natagi aki tunakui im utagi im wale, right? So that's me. But my family has a name of its own. So when one actually introduces themselves, it becomes, who is this? Oh, this mama coming in. Hold on. So when it comes to introducing yourself, it would be, okay, well, now, well, in English, let me say it in the long term. I am Nighthawk, Tunakui of Wale. My family is such and such and such, right? My town is such and such and such. My ancestors or my family directly. You give your notable, right? So let's make this make sense. And peace, brother, what's going on with you? This is, so let's make this make sense. Now that I have one of my brothers in the chat, right? When you think about gang culture, this is exactly where gang culture comes from. And I mean exactly that, right? This is where gang culture comes from. Because if you ask me, who am I? And I'm Blade, and I'm S double, and my big bros are him, him, and him, and him, and I'm from here. That is the same thing as giving your lineage as an Indian. The same thing goes on in a Masonic lodge. They will ask you, what's your name? Why you came here, right? And who do you come from? So you would give yourself, your position, where you come from, and who you are under, or the big chief. So gang culture, right, is an off branch of the clan system. What eventually happened is the builders got away from the politics because the warriors had something to say. Because the warriors couldn't deal with certain ceremonies because they spilled blood. The warriors didn't have a say so when it came to talks of mercy because they spilled blood. But one thing about a warrior, one thing that we know is we say this, right? If I spilt blood for this and I went and put down for this, how can you tell me I have no right to lead ceremony? How can you tell me I have no right to speak on mercy when all I have done was handed out punishment or vengeance? So somewhere in there, me being a seasoned warrior comes the, as bro say, the growth and development, right? From the seasoned warrior, now I have to become the chief or somebody who, an elder. I'm an elder man now. I'm speaking on behalf of my family. This is clan system. But with gang, family isn't as attached. Family is somewhere else, right? So when warriorhood took over the clan system, when the warriorhood took over the gang culture, this is when you get the separation of the clan and the community and the gang and the community. Gang is no longer protecting the community. Clan is no longer protecting the community. It's about spilling, right? So the warriors who weren't the seasoned warriors became the leaders of what became these gangs or these clans and bands, right? So we went over the clan system, tied it into gangs. So how do clans function? The clan system basically afforded and awarded, right? But it afforded me and taught me and each child. So let's put all ourselves into these systems. You pick an animal for your family, whatever you want to be. And I'm going to generalize this, right? Our families, right, we would have specific lands for us. We would have specific duties for us. Every child was the child of his mother. So you would receive, in our system, you would receive the clan from your mother. Your surname, your family name comes from your mother. Now, what's different between our system and the Muskogee system, or our system and the system the Yamassee use today, is that that's the clan system. But there's a social society that not many people use today, and it's this. And you're going to hear me hit it first for the first time. Yes, you are your mother's child. Your honors, your right, your character, right? All of that and your duties will come from the type of guy or man that your father was. So in this way, every family, one moment. So that afforded every child to do this. They weren't forced into they weren't lumped into a township, right? Everything with Wale was kept in the family. So what that means is, yes, I'm being raised by my mother's brothers, but my daddy a warrior, right? So that means that though I am a part of my mother's family, my occupation would be that of a warrior. Put down on you niggas. Literally, right? That's what the job would be. Now, I could have a cousin or a brother, right? Because this is my clan brother, who has a father that's a builder. So he would wear blue, right? And his job would be to build shit. There was an ancient war. And in that ancient war, when red and blue clashed, because now let me explain this too. Red and blue isn't specific for the North and the South. When you see our medicine wheel, sometimes you will see blue in the North, but it's only because we know exactly what it means. So in this ancient war, you had children that I explained earlier that were warriors. Like, wait, my dad wasn't just a warrior. He put down for y'all, but he made sure that we stayed okay too. He fed the community. So we should have a voice. There were people like, nah, fuck that. You don't got no voice. You can't speak on mercy. And there was a war. That group of people that wouldn't allow the warriors to have something to say were the same group of people that ushered in the help usher in the Mississippian era. These were the people that our Tamukwa cousins began to call Yuchi, because they had shamed themselves from allowing people to go to war. They were doing other things, right? And they allowed for the Lenape to walk down into the Southeast. So this is another split within that culture, right? Now, in my culture, I am only supposed to defend the women in my family. Hear me out. When they say black women are the most unprotected species, they mean that shit. And if anybody disagree with that, that just lets me know that as a man, you aren't defending your sisters. You aren't defending, and somebody left because they know you aren't defending your mother, your aunties, and your cousins, right? So, right, cuz, where do you hail from? That's a question they would ask, right? And the thing is, getting back to the thing is, the male or the men in the family literally had to protect their women. So when a man had to come raise his child, when a man had to come see his child, he has to go to the child's home. That baby's mother isn't being disrespected, isn't being misled, right? Isn't being done wrong at the hands of a man outside of the home. You live in the house with her brothers and her uncles and her mother's uncles, the family. So when the family was together, it functioned. So now you have these families. Let's say you have panther, you have wolf, you got bear, you got rabbit, whatever families you have, these families would come together, and these would be considered unions, right? But within these unions, again, Europeans not understanding the unions, they seen them as taboo relationships, right? They seen them as not having any central power. And this is where the term I'm moving fast too, but fuck it. This is where the term too many chiefs, not enough Indians. All of this comes from the clan system. Because each one of us in here, I guarantee you our mothers aren't related. My mother's on my screen. She's not neither one of y'all mama or aunt. So that will give us about 9 clans right here just in this conversation. So they when they ask for a decision to be made, each family will send someone to make the decision. So the Europeans say, well, damn, it's too many chiefs, not enough Indians. What they were saying is there were too many people that actually had a voice. They weren't saying it's too many people speaking at the wrong time and they're saying the wrong thing. No, they're saying there are actually people that have a legitimate claim to this. So what they did was created a central power. This is how you get the principal chief, right? Or things like that. We have a question. Okay, so the occupation is working for the mother's clan. The mother's clan is your bloodline. The male's true occupation came from his father's line. That was the social system, right? Now, when it comes to clan occupation, that basically deals with what the family do as a whole, right? So that's where that tie-ins to. But his real occupation, building, hunting, crafting, a spy boy, right? Going to search for the land. All of this comes from your father's blood. And the thing about us is we had women warriors too. So we definitely had the feminine war, the woman warriors or the lady warriors that was putting in that work on behalf of their father's bloodlines too. So it wasn't like with the Muskogee, it's just my mama blood, or with the before they became Muskogee, when they were just the Muspa, right? When they was the Anikusa, when they were them, originally they were a patrilineal people. Divorce, great question. So this is how that worked. The divorce would work once a year. Once you get to ceremony, and it's the same thing with the Yamassee. The Yamassee, the Muskogee, the Yuchi, the majority of the Southeast deal with it in the same way. Once green corn come around and you're purging self of all outside influences, you can actually break that off at the green corn, right? If you did harm, right, to someone's family, you could come to green corn. If you could make it to green corn and make it inside the ceremonial grounds, me as Tunakui would have to let it be known there that, hey, you can't, that's done, right? So the occupation works for facts. It's for the father's clan. But the clan occupation is a family thing. Say this is where the federal government comes from, the Confederacy meeting of the chiefs, different tribes. Right. They got theirs from our enemies. And I say enemy with quotes on it for the simple fact that they aren't today. It's just their ancestors that was doing the evil things. And the Lenape, the Lenni Lenape, and the Mingwe, they are the ones that that use their systems, right, in order to help instill what we know as the United States government, because they sided with with the slaves, with the European slaves. So that's how that happened. Yeah, they definitely, and for anyone, again, that's the Lenape and the Mingwe. The Mingwe are the Mingo. That's the original term. Mingwe is the original word for the Iroquois, right? And if you know the relationship between the Iroquois and the Lenape, or if you don't know about the relationship between the Iroquois and the Lenape, it's best that you go check that out. If you need any sources or any references and you're a sub, just hit me up. I got you. I'll give you the actual text. So we are at 20. So my 20 timestamps was, okay, how did it function in other groups? Okay, perfect. So that's the question that we have at the 20-minute timestamp. With other groups of people, clan systems may have functioned differently. In the Southeast, for the most part, we were matrilineal. So if you dealt with another union, right, which they call nation, but if you dealt with another union, 9 times out of 10, there was a system in place that you would basically, here goes a gang terminology that you would roll over to. Masonic terminology, you will get healed over. Family terminology, you're being adopted. This is what's going on. So you could be bog potato and become wild Muskogee and become wild potato Cherokee. You can be Bear Clan, Guale, or Muskogee and become Blue Paint Clan, Tislagi, right? You can be Wolf Clan, Yğaga, and then be Wolf Clan, Tislagi. So the clan systems were all one. Everything was, it was a cipher. It literally was a cipher. It was a cipher. It was a circle, big circle, cipher. So when you get incoming people whose system is different, you get clashing because you have people whose clan systems weren't by blood necessarily. It was, as Cuz was saying, by occupation or function. And then these were patrilineal people. So when they crossed the Mississippi and came into the people that were matrilineal, there had to be a system that was eventually given to these people so they can function. In 6 minutes, I'm definitely going to touch on that. She said, my parents are divorced, but my mom's side still treat him like family because he is. He helped create you, right? So there's a part of you that's a part of him that's a part of them. So this is how, this is the cipher, right? To treat someone as if they aren't, based on that, isn't our way. This is why grandma always says 2 things you don't deny people, and that's food and a place to stay. You give someone food, you give that person a place to stay. If that person is this, you know what I mean by this? In my, you know what I mean by this? That's family, right? That's still family. Now, when it comes to the red and blue, I'm definitely gonna detail that in the private session. I don't want to go too crazy on that. Let's see what the next question we got. It says, okay, did that. So what are the negative effects of the clan system? Okay, so what are the negative effects of the clan system? Now, the negative effects of the clan system there was no, I would say this, to me, there were no negative effects to the clan system until Europeans didn't have a clan. And what I mean by that is, being that the blood ran through the mother, European women would have children with indigenous men. Them having children with indigenous men mean that those babies had not a clan. Now, the men, they weren't getting the approval from their mothers and their sisters and their aunts and grandmas to adopt these children into their family, or these babies into their family. What do you mean, Chief? What I'm saying is, a child could be adopted by its father's family if its mother has no clan. So the European women was like, you know what? We either have to get rid of this clan system, or we have to have one of our own. What happened is, there were a group of Muskogee chiefs that had European wives, right? They had white wives, and what they did was they went to their shamans and asked their shamans for help, and that they would want to provide their wives with the clan so they can protect their own babies. You can look this story up. The shamans told the men, it wouldn't be right if y'all have children with these white women, because unlike your mothers, they're trying to keep their blood, right, indigenous. They disagree with the shaman. So the shaman said, you know what? In few generations, your children, not just this, your children are going to look completely opposite than you do today. The shaman went to the women and said, you're going to go to the forest, and you're going to go in the forest and you're going to fast for 4 days. Now, within these 4 days, you're going to hear something come to you. You're going to see something come to you, but you will hear it first as it will cry out. The women went to the forest and they waited. The women waited and waited and they waited and they waited and they fasted and they chanted and they prayed. And on the 4th day, something cried out from the ground. The women went to digging and digging and digging and digging and digging. And it was a white potato. These children eventually became one and the same with Wind Clan. These children are the children that come up out of the earth. These children are the children the Yamassee elder was speaking on when he said, hey, shit, that's why they used to come out at night. Yeah, there was pale skin. These are the offspring of the Negroes, of the indigenous, of the Guale, of the Yamassee, of the Kusa, the Yuchi, all of these different Southeastern men that were having children with these European women, right? All of the chiefs that were giving their nieces to European men, right? And the men would take these children at a certain age, raise them, and then have them do their business. The negative effects of the clan system is that it no longer became about family. It became about benefit. If I give my niece to this pale skin, how would this best benefit us in the deerskin trade? Right? How would this best benefit us in war? And these are the thoughts that the Lenape had. These are the thoughts that the incoming Muskogee had. These are the thoughts that the Yuchi had when they came back down. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to take a 1-minute break. And when I come back from this 1-minute break, we're going to talk about the Mississippian era and the creation of green corn. And that will be that's where I'm going to leave it. So we're going to do 1 minute. We're going to play the song, get a reset, and get my mind right. And then that's what we're touching on next. So 1 moment, please. Okay, I'm back. So what I did, I put up the laptop. I want to show a couple pictures about the red and blue, so you can actually view how this looked in the Yuchi society. Let me see if I can share the screen. One moment. Let's see if I can do this for y'all. Here we go. So what we'll notice is in their society, the Yuchi, the people that we call the Yuchi, there are different bands of Yuchi which have their story, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to talk about this simply from the Southeast point of view. The people that we know as Yuchi, um, when they say they migrated from Tennessee, that's a second migration. When they got here, right? Um, as children of the sun, they were also a part of the Yğaga, right? But a lot of them don't have this story, and it's because they were Lenape that mixed into the southern people, right? The Shawnee, the Yuchi, going up into that area. Now, when we look at when we look at paintings, right? When we look at things like this, um, we have to pay very close to the details. And peace, cuz what's going on? And the thing is, these colors will show you the difference in the societies in which the different Uchis participated in, right? Now, we will talk about the red and the blue in the private session. I will actually go over what each color mean, how to use these, why we use them in our medicine wheel, right? And why you also find them on the drum. But in this particular picture here, it actually gives you, let me go back. It gives you the big idea, right? It gives you a full picture. This is the full picture of the societies together. You do, when you break these down, what you will notice here, let me explain this, is the majority of the original Southeastern people smoked tobacco, right? For the fuck of it. That's how I would say it, right? For the fun of it. And the thing is, let me add Mama back to stage. The thing is, this became ceremony to the Muskogee. So when these groups of Yuchi were pushed from the southeast into the north, the northern part of the southeast, where they met the Lenape, they met the different groups considered Shawnee, right? Or Shaniwi. They met the Muskogee, right? Which was at the time the Suki. So all of these groups came together in ceremony after they had defeated a specific group of Guale, right? In that quote unquote Ohio Valley area today, right? And that was the beginning of their green corn. So here again, you notice the separation by color. You'll see the warrior dancing with the ancient battle club. And then here you see the warrior and the chief, or the big war chief and the big chief, are enjoying smokes around the fire. Not only that, there are children in the background also. So during their ceremonies, or our ceremonies, that were going on in the southeast, these groups of Yuchi took these to the north. And when they got to the north, remember what we spoke on. If you are a sub, you know. We spoke on the blue fire that they chose not to use from the south. This is why you no longer start seeing blue in their traditions, because they stopped using blue. We have a question. Are there any Black Europeans that mixed with tribes? Of course. There are definitely a lot of people that were considered blacker Moors, Moreno, Moorish, all of this different stuff that mixed in. That's what people did, right? Indigenous women in the Southeast, they low-key preferred men that were from across the water, for the simple fact that they were trying to build warriors, right? So there are certain plantations that actual Yamassee, actual Cherokee, actual Guale chiefs had, where they would have like quote unquote Moorish Europeans, right? Or different African groups, the Kizi, the Mendinga, where these men will actually mix in with the women, right? And that's how we get the Gullah Geechee. That's how we get the Seminole, right? It's so many combinations and so many different groups that came together, right? So that's definitely a great question. Are there any other questions about the clan system, or any, anything about the Southeast that anyone has before we do continue? Because I touched on a lot. I'm actually 23 minutes ahead of time. That's crazy. I'm 23 minutes ahead of schedule. That's crazy. Let me see. So let's talk about this, right? Or clan taboos. There are many cat clans. So you have Panther clan, you have Jaguar, right? You have Puma, Cougar, you have the Big Teeth, right? So within these families, let's talk about clan taboos. Originally, we wouldn't kill the animal or the I have to use the enemy. I use the enemy because that means spirit, right? So we wouldn't use the enemy. We wouldn't unalive it, right? Because that's family. But we would use it in ceremony, if you get what I'm saying. So unaliving a clan animal would be like unaliving a family member. It says, I would like to ask, are Tainos connected to your people or the Southeast? Both. They're connected to both. And it's specific groups of Taino people, right? Because Taino just means someone of royal blood, right? But what I'll say is the Temuqua, right? Those are our cousins. The Yamassa Taino were in the Carolinas before there was settlement, right? I have one cousin that's enrolled Taino, but I would love to meet more with myself, right? Have these conversations with them, because there are some things my family, right, that we have questions about because we found Taino suffixes in our language. So it's like, how long, right? How we been dealing with each other? Though our creation story say that we've always been in Georgia, which we have one video from one of our elders in present day Georgia. We also know that our cousins definitely were island hopping and coming up here, especially for ceremony, right? Let's talk about that. So at Kolamoki, there's proof that the Arawak actually came to Kolamoki for ceremony. Let's see if I can actually find this, because we have Mayan presence here. The Mayans came here about 1,800 years ago, and they brought corn, right? So that's our connection with the Mayans. Our connection with Taino people, like the Temuqua, or those that, because they would still be considered such, is that we find in their language ourselves. So if we go to the Temuqua language, you find Yuba, and Yuba means the place of above, right? And this is what Yuchi say, they mean those from above. But Yuba was the place from above. Yuba is the people who live in that place from above, right? Now, also in their language, edge, they explain that Yuba'a was on the edge land of the earth. So that in the Temuqua language, they actually explain who the Wale are. They are the people from up high that live on the coastal edge. That was amazing to us, right? The Yuchi, the different groups of Yuchi, they were warriors, right? And a lot of them were powerful warriors. The thing that messed them up is triple diplomacy, right? This is what the scholars call it. You have those that said mercy, we don't want to fight. You had those that said vengeance, we're going to war. And you had those who said that we're going to stay out of it. So warriors, right? When we look at Yuchi warriors, we're speaking on Chief Cat, right? And you can tell by his tattoo that he's a warrior. The lightning going across his forehead in the dark sky, right? The red paint over his eyes, symbolizing that he, right, is a warrior. And you have tribal marks, which the subs, y'all getting all of this today. The subs, I'm going into the actual work. Like we going book for book, right? We going to the anthropology work. We're going into all the actual work where I'm going to show you why he has this tattoo, why his face is actually tattooed that way, right? And how these tattoos are later. Matter of fact, I'll do that for those who not subs. Watch this. I'm gonna do this for y'all. Let me do this for y'all. Let me show you what the subs get when we actually do our bills. Let me show you what the subs get. All subscribers, I thank y'all. Thank you for making sure that I can keep this StreamYard up and running without the hassle, right? Because it's been 50. So that tattoo you seen on him, you also later see on Tomochichi. That tattoo you see on him, you see now on Tomochichi. Here it goes, pulled up. So Tomochichi is Yamakara, right? That's how you would say it in Ichiti. And Ichiti proper is Yamakara, right? Yamakara. The English said Yamakro, right? So he has a tattoo of a man that is considered to be Yuchi. But we've explained that Yuchi means, in our cousin's language, not the one from above, because that would be Yupa'a. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. We back. All right, we back. I got a phone call. I guess it go out when you get phone calls. So this tattoo, basically, like I was saying, comes from a man that was considered Yuchi. And this is a Yuchi chief. So there has to be a tie between the Yamakata, right, which are the Yamakra, and this band of Yuchi. Or there has to be some form of symbolic understanding between all of these groups of people. The issue with Europeans was when they found out that you can't go into any town and have one voice, they had to start establishing chiefs of their own. And when they started to establish chiefs, this killed the clan system. Clan system mattered not, right? How things function mattered not. Now the power is in the town. And then the power is going from the family to the town to the tribe. But then even tribes have multiple chiefs from different towns. Then you take the power out of the town and you centralize the power and quote what they consider nation, right? And one man has all the power. Nation and unity, or union, confederacy and union, us being a united people is what divided us. Cat Clan cannot mix with Cat Clan because they are family. That's unison. That means anyone that is of these Cat Clans is considered my cousin. So if I go to this town, I can walk into this house full of Cat family and whoop, 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 and they know this blood, this family. Europeans found that to be taboo, right? When families say, nah, we stand up out of that, right? When families say we stand up out of that, that takes away warriors and politicians out the fight, regardless of which way they would have gone. With Wale's clan system being so close, you still can't hear me? Put a let me see what's going on. Let me see. Hold on. Let me try this one more time. Let me see. Can y'all hear me? If you can hear me, put the number 1. If my voice is up now, put the number 1 in the chat, someone. Let me see. All right, you got me? Okay, perfect. So with the power being more centralized, right? And the power is no longer in the family. Now you have nation removing families out of the nation. So you can go and Google, right? You can say, what Seminole clans are extinct? What Yamassee clans are extinct? And they will tell you which families have been written out of paper. When you deal with Wale, after our war with the Muskogee, only 4 clans were mentioned in colonial records. Wale isn't mentioned in colonial records. The mission era is the Spanish era. The colonial era is the Europeans, is the Englishman's era. See, the missions in the mission system, right? They just say, look, we want to convert them. They can stay with the, we just want to convert them. We want to make good Christians. The English said, well, shit, they obviously ain't converting to Christianity, so we got to get rid of them. And they went to the interior where their English cousins were in Virginia, and they grabbed the Westo, they grabbed the Yuchi, and the Yuchi and the Westo became so close together. They became so close together that they couldn't separate them in colonial records. They came down with the red and black face paint, warring, right? The Yuchi and the Westo did the Timucua so dirty that there was Wale people getting off boats and landing and like, wait, they putting Timucua people on the boats that they just took me off. And not only that, they're putting other people on boats that they're bringing other pale skins off. So when the clan system start breaking down and nations start kicking specific families out, you will find that Cuz spoke on the warriors. Let me pull this comment up. Those that were removed were mostly the warrior clans. Wolf clan, Jaguar, the brown, the forest bear, not the black bear, but the brown bear, right? The vulture clan, hawk clan, snake clan, right? Raccoon clan, right? All of the clans, maize clan, snapping turtle. So the warriors were pushed out. The warriors were already, before they were pushed out, they were already considered what? Like the Ethiopians, based on their skin color, based on some of their hair texture, they were said. And you can read Thomas Woodward's description on the Yamassee when he was speaking on the Confederation, he says, see, they got dark skin, coarse hair, thick lips, and flat feet. They're Negroes. When you look at congressional records consider the Yamassee to be Negroes. But what is it, Negroes? It's someone with dark skin, right? But no, see, these look different than the others. So they had to get rid of them. So eventually they start calling all of the Guale Yamassee. And those that would say that they weren't Yamassee were removed from the nation. And those Guale that became Yamassee and became slave raiders, right? They got the shit end of the stick when the Englishmen started jumping on them. Clan mattered no more. It was about the town. So every Guale town split in 4 different groups. We had hundreds of towns. And when this split, the clan system started to deteriorate. This is already this is just the 1700s. Those that held on to the traditions, those that held on to their clan names, or those that remembered who they were classified as Negro again after 1717, because during the Yamassee War, all of them were called Negro. And the reason everyone was called Negro is because they couldn't tell the king that the Indians had started to uprise against them. So they had to say the Negroes are revolting. So they started to lose it. And then a new group of people come over and say, hey, look, we friends with the Europeans, so y'all either gonna get down or we gonna get on y'all ass. Look up the extermination war. The Muskogee attempted to exterminate the Yamassee. Now, I'm saying this to speak on the facts of the matter. I'm for unity, but I'm not for BS. There's a major difference between those that were Yamassee and those that were Creek. See, you can look at the dark skin and say, well, the Creeks were dark skin. They were called Negroes too. But where do the Creeks come from? Where do the Muskogee, the Anigusa, where do they come from? And if there's no difference between the Creeks and the Yamassees, then do the Yamassee come from the West too? This is what I mean by being fair in the story. Just because you got dark skin don't make us one and the same. Yes, some Yamassee became Creek or Muskogee, but the majority of the Muskogee attempted to exterminate the people they considered to be the Yamassee. How could there be no difference if we have 3 Cherokee chiefs, and I'm going to give the names to the subs, right? If you need to sub, follow me on Instagram at Kwekuka, right? So she loved cooking for me. So what I'm saying is, just because someone had dark skin don't make you the same, right? Just because someone looks like you don't make you the same. This was the importance of the clan system, bloodline. This was the importance of the social system. What do you do? When these 2 things were taken away from us, we lost the sense of who we actually were, who we are to protect, who I'm to provide for, right? Who I'm to teach, how to teach my story. Where do I get my story from? All of this disappeared when we left or broke away from the ranks or the structure of the clan system and the social society. And We can restore it, but you have to get your families involved. There's no a group of individuals coming together calling themselves tribe. That's a cult. That's a cult. You're creating a belief that you are something that you believe that you are. However, I'm giving you the proper way. Never said this on camera neither. I gave hints. I definitely gave hints. You know who you are. Why do you need somebody else to confirm that for you? You know who you are. You can prove who you are. Why not go get your family shit together? Why not go talk to grandma and be like, Grandma, this is what's going on. Remember this, Grandma? I know you do. And if you don't, this is how it go. Mom, you remember this? If you don't, this is how it go. You get your family together. And after you get your family together, you get with other families that have their shit together. Right? That's how that's done. It says, how are clans created in the same tribe? Clans and tribes completely different. So the clans are the families that make up what we would consider that unification in tribe. Tribes are made up of families that eventually link with other tribes that become nation, right? Or union, right? So in the 40 towns that they have documented, the man say, man, I went to 40, I caught the meeting from 40 of the Guale towns. They have 22 chiefs. That mean within these towns, there are 22 clans, 22 different families that operate just from different areas. You know what I'm saying? Cause there's different areas of the land. So clans, the family is already created. That's their creation story. When the creation story is told, that family can pinpoint themselves, right? This is the unification. So in ours, right? You have Crane, you have different cat clans, right? But as we've pointed out before, it was our bird that gave the Kusa their name. When they migrated over here is when they even became known as Kusa. And they got it from a blue family, Yğaga. And the chief of that family today is Red Crane. Yğaga, there goes the blue and the red. So even though that family is considered blue family, he's warrior, red, clan system. That's how we function. That's why we use them both. We don't neglect the blue, right? We don't neglect the blue. We don't neglect the red. We don't neglect the yellow. That's us. That's who we are. So, any questions? I'm gonna let this run for 2 minutes while y'all type the questions up. So by 1:05, I should be answering any questions. So I'll go on another 2-minute break. If you all don't have any questions, if you do have that private chat link in your email, go ahead and click that link now. So we can get started on the free bill. There are about it's about 3 books that I'm going to bring out that I need you all to get. And I do have one of them PDF. So I'll be able, screen sharing that with you. And yeah, let's get it. So if you do have questions, go ahead and type those questions in. I'll be back in 2 minutes to answer those.
Bitch. Oh, you thought I couldn't hear you, huh? I did. Dirty ass Glock on me chillin' while I slang dope. 3700 for this double G raincoat. I'm on a rise, you on a rise too, we in the same boat. Ask about me, shit, I'm everywhere, you niggas can't go. Strapped up, rockin' all purple like it's Saints Row. Desert Eagle blowing circles out, I'm caught a halo. Emerald cuts in my GBP, shout out Halo. Pop the Percocet, I'm geeked up, call me Fabo. It's time to turn up on
Everybody, let's go. Let's go. Nigga, let's go. Let's go. To a motherfucking place that you ain't never been to. But keep it on the low. On the low. Where you can absolutely, positively get on the side of the stove. Sipping on that 4-0. Nigga, fuck the 5-0 with your pit bull. Don't let them roam around, though. On the pack of the loud, go ahead, you can blow. Ain't a motherfucking noose on the aisle. Already been burnt on the pile. You ain't never ever gotta worry with your motherfucker whooping the gun to the back of the head of a child. Go wild. Welcome to the land of the colored. All we do is win, never suffer. Ain't no cops in the cover. Where every kid on the block never had a clock. And all families got a father and a mother, but we all living good, nigga. Ain't God good, he delivered us cause he could. Well, they couldn't bring crack to the hood cause it ain't no hood. Tyrone and Keisha doing pretty damn good. All the kids wearing hoodies, coming from the back of the 7-Eleven with a pack full of goodies. Skittles with a can of Arizona on deck. From a black stone store cause we mobbing like that. All black Benz cause we got it like that. All black rims cause we got it like that. And we ain't gotta worry about nobody shooting us down cause we don't look suspicious. In our neighborhood watch cause we watch the kids. My mama, your mama, we all related. I'm so elated. Never in a million years would have thought a world like this existed.
Color, alley, nigga, color, alley, bitch, color, alley, nigga, color, alley, bitch, color, alley, nigga, color, alley, bitch, holla.
All right, we back. So we do have a question, only one question. Let me see. So it says, so the mix is the mother and father on why the wheel has the primary colors, but the symbol colors are different. So yes, the colors definitely, we know they mean different. However, yes, the mix is of mother, father, right? However, that's where the black and white come in at, as I explained last night, right? The color, your clan color isn't necessarily red or blue. It's the society colors that's red or blue, right? So the society colors is what come from your father. The clan colors different. So you may have clan colors that are yellow, right? Some clans may wear purple. We literally use the whole rainbow, like just like the Yuchi Guale ceremonial grounds were not red, black, yellow, and white. They were the rainbow. And these three colors, right, that we're using today, as you say, are just the primary. However, green is interchangeable with specific colors, right, like blue. So in our art, you may actually see the water as being blue, but the sky is green. And there's specific reason for that, right? So yeah, the colors definitely mean different, and the colors come from the father's line when it comes to social society. That red and blue that I showed. Any other questions? My auntie, she say I don't be getting a lot of questions because I be covering everything. She say you be covering everything, so we really don't be having no questions. So let's see. I'll end it at 1:10. So we got another minute. Anybody have any questions? see. None. That's interesting. That mean I did my job. That's all that mean. So let's see. So thank you all for tuning in, for joining. Please like this video. If you did leave a comment, please come back to the video, the YouTube video, after, because my mama said she would. So oh, they together. I didn't even add y'all back to the screen. Y'all there? Y'all can hear me? Let me see. They on mute. It's all good. Let's see. Okay. So yeah, thank you for tuning in. Please follow me on Instagram. At Quekuka. That's QUE, right? Because I be spelling it so many different ways, right? So when you, it's not QU. Please don't put QU, right? But I'm going to get into Kwekuka also. We're going to do a build on the deities of the Wale, but we're going to keep that sacred. We're really going to keep that in-house on how Kwekuka is the big brother, right, to the Mesoamerican Kukulkan, right, and how the deity in the north, Montezunga, is the big brother of the title being held by those in Mesoamerica under Montezuma. Say right, and that's what I mean by genetic. Remember, we were talking, and I was like, that's what I mean by genetic. It's in you. It's like you are your mother's child. But when you grow up in the neighborhood, when you grow up in the community, you look at like your father's child. Everybody know who your mother is. But whatever your father did is low-key how they expect you to be, or a lot better. Like, for instance, my dad played quarterback. So everybody expected me to play quarterback. I wanted to play something else. But I was forced into the position of being the leader of a team. It just so happened that no matter what team I'm on, I'm just the best leader. I'm a great follower. I followed him for a long time, right? So it just so happens that I end up being one of the best leaders, you know? Great build, great info to sit with and build upon. Much love, continued strength. Much love to y'all too, and keep working. I definitely love the work that y'all doing, healing people. And I can't wait till I actually get y'all with Red Crane, right? Because I've watched y'all work for a while, and I know Cuz work. Like, that's my blood cousin, right? And to see how you all take a healthy self, literally, to heal thyself, that's definitely something amazing. Thank you for tuning in. It says, were what they call Negro people the first to inhabit the Americas? Yes. And the reason I say yes is because they considered anyone to have dark skin to be Negro, right? But we can't equate this Negro or look-alike to be the same that's on continental Africa, nor could we equate it to looking like, and I say looking like, certain Negroes today, and reason being they weren't mixed, right? So they didn't have the admixtures that we have today. So they look different, right? Their bone structure was different. Their craniologists have done the work. One craniologist that I want you to look into is Stephen Clark Larson, right? He's one of my favorite that deals with Wale, because he was one of those that went to John Worth and was like, hey, yo, these skeletons that we got Wale, these are what they considered Negroid skeletons. So there's a classification in craniology called Wale African, and Wale Yamassee. which shows how the original people mixed with those that we would consider Negroid or Negroes today, right? Being Negro already themselves, and then linking with another people like the Yamassee, who also were considered a Negro or Negroid people. Definitely, I feel the same too. I don't know. It's like everything about me got my dad family, the walk, the except the Maine. Like this Maine, I don't know where the Maine come from. Only my brother and I have the actually big Maines. But no other male in our families got these other than my brother and I. But as far as features, um, the eyes, my mother, but everything else is really my dad. Them from the cheeks to the jaw, like the sharp jawline, like all of that over there. My mom them they really have original features. What I mean by that is my dad's family has a drop of Scottish blood more recently than my mom's family does. So my mom's family, they still have like the big jawline, the wide nose, the big pretty eyes, right? Like all my uncles, my great uncles, they got the handsome Squidward. Like you get what I'm saying? They got the handsome, so they actually still have those features of those original Americans. They definitely do. Yeah. Let me see. Any more questions? No. So that'll be it. I'll be cutting this. Y'all go ahead and join that private and let's get to work. I thank y'all so much. I thank y'all so much, Sona Bichi. Much love and gratitude.